Good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's race between Chewy and VaeVictus. Tonight's tracking is in charge of Onyx is in charge of the tracking tonight, and we are all ready to go. The runners are just getting ready to start anytime now. So, coming from yesterday's matches, anything is possible in these races. You know, the upsets have been a major topic from yesterday. So let's hope for a really good race tonight. Hope everybody enjoys it. I sure will. And I hope all of you enjoy it as well. So there we go. With the judges on potions and Mana Prism, that's a nice shop, although a little expensive. It's quite expensive actually, but it has a interesting gear to start with. Chewy getting some protection, and VaeVictus getting a Yellow Soul, the Lilith Yellow Soul. So for those of you who are new here to the Randomizer, you will notice something. First of all, some of the colors might not be the same as the original game, and well, right away they find Malphas, they find the double jump, and here they get Black Panther. Black Panther is guaranteed to drop on the first checks in the castle corridor, and they are sure glad to get a Malphas because they now have some more capability for vertical exploration. As I was saying before, you will notice a number right next to their last bar. That's the amount of checks, that means souls or books, that are in an area. And the randomizer, well, except for this creaking skull, which is now gone, one area it will not lead to the area it should lead in the vanilla game, but rather in a totally different area. The areas are randomized as well. On our left we have VaeVictus checking this upper part of the entrance, finds nothing there. Meanwhile Chewy finds another red soul. So the goal of this randomizer is to get to the true ending of the game. Not defeating Graham, that is the fake ending, but defeating Chaos. And to do so, they will both need to find 3 specific souls. These souls are described in 3 different books. The ancient books are, you will see them somewhere in the castle among all these other checks that they have to do. Sorry for the interruption. Chewy is just got a Skula. This is necessary for Go mode as he can now dive underwater. So back to the goal of the game. They need to find a red soul, a blue soul, and a yellow soul to unlock the true ending. The books will tell them which souls are necessary, and in parentheses they will find the name of the monster that drops said soul. Although it is not necessary that they farm the monster, as they can always just find the souls from one of these souls canisters. Chewy here going to Forbidden Area right away. It has only one check, it should probably be the Claims to Life check. So let's see what he finds out in this room. Another blue soul. Curly, right, so now Chewy has a rush soul. Although not the best of all the rush souls, there are 3. This one is the less powerful, sort of speaking. The best being Manticore and the in-between being the Devil. VaeVictus finding the inner quarters. with 2 checks. This is interesting, as one of these checks will probably be surely sometimes it's behind Yalamoth. And he finds, okay, so he finds Headhunter right away. Interesting. This will give VaeVictus an advantage, as he can now, as once he defeats the Headhunter, he will get an upgrade to the shop. Shall we find in the chapel? Let's see what are the checks here. While Chewy climbs the chapel, VaeVictus is stabbing madly at the Headhunter. Let's go into phase 2. Exactly. Is this Vanilla Headhunt? Is this even randomized? But jokes aside, that's a really good find. Okay, now Chewy finds Giant Bat. So he now has the worst form of flight, as it costs NP, but he can now do some more vertical exploration, as he can do with just Malphas. Do we find NT big advantage? Of course. I mean, who wouldn't want a nice cup of tea? Especially when you are in a castle surrounded by monsters. So let's see what Chewy finds up here. Just gym clothes. Meanwhile, VaeVictus is still fighting. Oh no, he gets poisoned. That's trouble, as poison reduces his attack and defense. This lizard face is actually, it moves a lot, and well, he's struggling with the fight right now. But let's hope it pays off with the items at the store. He gets the Arachne Soul. Okay. He goes immediately to save and regains some of the lost hit points and magic. VaeVictus climbing the outside part of the inner quarters. Sometimes there is always something good up there. And the advantage, well, just a second. Chewy selling a lot of stuff. He doesn't need to buy a Joyous, Mana Prism, and Super Potion. No, he didn't have enough money for the Mana Prism. Now he does. Meanwhile, VaeVictus continues to search the rest of the inner quarters, maybe for some weapon upgrade or for some nice item, which he doesn't get pretty much, just a witch sword. There's a good advantage of going to putting the game to sleep. It will return you to the entrance of the last room you entered, so they can leave quickly. You will live in the chapel and finding the reservoir. Now, reservoir is a maze, and here in the randomizer it can loop on itself due to all of the entrances it has. You can sometimes just go through an exit and find yourself entering at another part of the reservoir. But in this case, he finds study, and he will not do it. Although he should. I mean, he could do it actually. He has bats, so he can check all of the study. VaeVictus going back to the shop, selling all that stuff he found at inner quarters, and getting... oh, there's a positron rifle. Well, that's a good weapon, although not very useful for some bosses. It hits 3 times though. So yeah, that's what I was talking about, the vertical exploration with the bat. It costs a lot of MP, and you have to use it wisely, unless you want to waste all your points and fall to the bottom of the room. VaeVictus back at the entrance. He bugged the positron rifle, and he's missing shooting at these crows. Not anymore. Let's see what each of them finds in their respective areas right now. VaeVictus finishing to clear the rest of the castle corridor, and Chu is waiting for that MP to regenerate. I'm sure he's wishing right now, I wish I had a rune ring. But, well, sometimes the game just doesn't want to give you a rune ring. And this is where that mana prism comes in handy. He finds a katana, and that's just well, it could be a good find. I mean, he could sell it for some money. Let's see what he finds up here. Well, VaeVictus continues to... Oh, he found Undine, that's nice. And he has a rush soul, so he can check behind the waterfall. Do we? Oh yes, he's recharging MP, and VaeVictus is just passing closer to close to a red book. VaeVictus finding backdash at the castle corridor, and Chewy's stream seems frozen. There we go. It's just having some technical issues with streaming, but he's back alright. VaeVictus finds Clock Tower. This is a good find. I mean, he can enter here at this teleporter room, and since it has Malphas, he can just... Oops, sorry. Oh, should we find in Balor? While VaeVictus continues to clear the clock tower. Well, Balor may seem like an easy fight because these runners will make it look easy, but it's not an easy fight. I mean, look at how much damage that giant does. If you go in under leveled and under geared, you will die for sure. VaeVictus checking the spikes room at the clock tower. He has to be careful here. Let's see what he finds. But Chewy will get an advantage of finding Balor and defeating him. Is that he will gain a lot of levels. Okay, so it's a red book duplicate. It's Fishhead. It's the first soul he will need. Go on Balor's second phase. Yeah, the good thing about a positron rifle is that it hits multiple times, but the bad thing is that it only shoots in a straight line, so you may miss often. So we're going for the last check. The cemetery. And, well, he found a tea. Oh, a coffee. And he gets the second book. So we will see what the blue soul is. Eventually, when he checks the item, or if VaeVictus finds a duplicate. if there is a duplicate. The chance for a book to be duplicated is 50% each. So it's not unusual that they might find the same book on two different areas. Okay, Victus finding this great armor, which is a free boss right now, and the hippogriff. So right now VaeVictus has the free flight. This form of flight, it costs no MP at all, although he lacks for some part of exploration that you can go into narrow passages with the bat. Chewy going back into the study. He's going to look for those 4 checks right now. Let's see what he finds. Meanwhile, VaeVictus is at the dance hall. Just getting rid of those minotaurs. The positron rifle just does quick work of them. The spoiled milk on Chewy. If they find a lubricant, they could try a strat that they will use the spoiled milk to reduce their health to only 1 point. And if they have the lubricant, they will increase their damage, you know, just so much, because they only have 1 point of health. Let's see what VaeVictus finds here at the end of the dance hall. Oh, so it's just the vanilla boss. And Chewy finds the kicker skeleton, so yeah, why wouldn't you want to kick all these enemies? Oh, he's missing the red check. There we go, it's a cockatrice. And he finds Legion. Okay, so he doesn't want to fight that boss right now. Legion, it gives a lot of experience, but it's just a waste of time. And he needs to go fast. He doesn't want to do it right now. Perhaps he will do it later if he gets better gear. Welcome Raiders! Welcome to this tonight's race between chewy4u and VaeVictus, two of the top players in this category. Chewy right now holds the second place for Aria 20%, and VaeVictus is at 17th place, if I recall correctly. I mean, they know this game really well, and for any percent they just clear this game in... Oh wait, Chewy found a rune ring. That will help him with those bad transformations. Like I was saying, these guys, they know the game. They know it from upside down, but the thing is that now everything is randomized, so one area may not exactly lead you to where you usually go. VaeVictus finding the story, and is going to clear it now. Let's see if he dares to take on the Legion fight. Come on, Team VaeVictus. Type in chat Team VaeVictus, and those type in chat Team Chewy. Let's see you cheer both your favorite runners. VaeVictus finding the Legion fight, and apparently he's going to take on this fight because, well, he's got the positron rifle, so there is no reason why not to. Just look at that, look at all the damage. And for those of you worried that maybe the red soul might be dropped by Legion, do not worry. It will surely be dropped somewhere else. If it was the red soul, but the red book said something else. I just don't remember. It's shed by Von Pillar. Thank you, Lonix. VaeVictus finding the rotten meat. He will just head back. There was nothing behind Legion. Well, at least he got all the levels. It's that's what's good about the Legion 5. Well, you get this much levels, so you are now. He's now better prepared for what waits ahead. Chewy finishing these checks at the dance hall. Meanwhile, VaeVictus is finishing all the checks at the study. Lonix in chat doing his guessing game of yellow being Eranis and blue being Death Blue Soul. So we'll see. Let's remember that Chewy found the blue book, but he hasn't read it yet. So let's hope and see what he finds, what the blue soul is. VaeVictus finding the chapel with its 2 checks, and Chewy at Clock Tower. That's personally for me one of the worst areas of the game because of all of these enemies and the these wheels that are just oddly placed, and well, I usually just bunk into everything, but they can handle this very well. VaeVictus finding Reservoir, and since he has free flight, he can just pretty much check everything. He has to be careful though. There's the blue book, but he has no rush soul. He has no rush soul, so and if I recall correctly, he doesn't have Undine yet, so he can't check the blue book. He can now. Let's see. Fished from Bone Pillar and Ancient Book 2 is. Come on, Chewy. I know you want to check Ancient Book 2. No, he didn't, or at least I couldn't see it. So Chewy now has the information of 2 of the 3 souls he needs to unlock the true ending. Chewy finding Floating Gardens. He decides, okay, it's not worth to just waste time there, as there were no checks in Floating Gardens. As I was saying, Chewy now has knowledge of 2 of the 3 souls, for the red and the blue one. Let's remember that the books are not required, just getting the souls. So if you see any runner find a book, reading the book and then just save splitting or reloading the game because they just feel like they were better positioned somewhere before, it's just normal. That will not stop them from getting the true ending. VaeVictus cleaning the rest of the reservoir, and Chewy finding the blocked passage of top floor. It is possible, yeah. Maybe he did some checks while his stream was frozen. Sadly, we could not see it. So Chewy back to the castle corridor, and his stream freezes again. Let's see what VaeVictus finds. He finds a poison fist. Maybe he'll sell it for something better at the shop. If he finds death, he will get the second upgrade for the shop, and he will get the second upgrade for the shop. And we will see what the shop now has to offer. Okay, getting a succubus VaeVictus. That's a healing soul. It will heal per hit. Chewy going into inner quarters. And leaving inner quarters through this castle corridor exit. I'm sorry, I just switched to VaeVictus view. VaeVictus going back to castle corridor, and Chewy going to chapel. So what Chewy is looking for now is the yellow book. So any good guesses where it could be? Arena maybe? We know for sure it is not at Floating Gardens. Well, this is actually a good move from Chewy. Going to top floor, he can unlock this teleporter right now. And he can always try and guess what the third soul is. It's quite a gamble, because if he gets it right, he will not have to deal with finding the third book. If he gets it wrong, then he will just lose a lot of time. He gets Galamoth. That will allow him to do the other check at the inner quarters. So Chewy getting Galamoth, he will come back here to inner quarters to do the Galamoth check. VaeVictus is keeping top floor, or maybe he's checking what's behind this door. No, he's going back to chapel. We know for sure that there are no books at chapel, but VaeVictus doesn't know that. Meanwhile, Chewy just passing this, getting past these armors, finding the wooden golem and a sword, and he goes back to the entrance of this room and finding the headhunter. Chewy getting a rush soul, so he can now go back to the reservoir and get that blue book. VaeVictus getting rid of the Manticore. He doesn't want the casual clothes. And Chewy here and struggling a little with the Headhunter fight. He gets rid of it. Well, it may seem that he was in danger, but he was never in real danger. He just likes to play it sometimes dangerously with low health. But these runners are used to it. And there's the third book. So it is Succubus, which I know VaeVictus has it. And I believe Chewy still needs to get the fish head. Yeah, Lonix, you just lost the guessing game. Oh, nice find by Chewy and Archdemon. That will surely help with sometimes help with the Julius fight. And Chewy is going probably... No, he's not going for the shop. So the three souls are Fish Head, Curly and Succubus. And I think they are both missing the Fish Head soul. They both have Curly. And VaeVictus has Succubus. But he hasn't found the yellow book yet, and he's on his way to find it. So he will know for sure, okay, so I have 2 of the 3 souls. Now he has to find the bone pillar and get the red soul to go for the... Let's see. VaeVictus is go mode. I didn't see him get the fish head soul. Yep, he's definitely going back. So Chewy paying a visit to the shop. Maybe he's stocking on some healing items before going for the rest of the road. Yes, that's right. He needs a better weapon. Oh, so VaeVictus is back at the shop. Let's see what he can find. And Chewy find in the arena. He's stacking on healing items and MP recovery. He knows that he's on go mode now, and he needs to stock on heals. Because the grand fight can be tricky. I mean, if you don't pay attention, he will, on the third phase, he could hit you with either the beam or one of his hands, and they do a lot of damage. It's deceptively dangerous if you're not careful. VaeVictus going for the blue book here, and now he knows he's got all 3. Chewy gets the fished soul. And with VaeVictus on his way to the grand fight. And he's just rushing through everything. He doesn't care about getting hit a couple of times. Well, there was a second Curly soul on Chewy's side. Oh, Chewy entering the worst room in the game. Yeah, so there are spikes, conveyor belts, arenas, Medusa heads, and an Arc Demon, just in case it is not worse, it is not bad enough. Welcome Raiders! Welcome to this race between Chewy and VaeVictus. We hope you enjoy the race. For now, VaeVictus is on the lead, sort of saying. But we all know that in these races anything can happen. So we find Death, and Death is the second upgrade for the shop. But all the time he spends fighting Death, VaeVictus is actually fighting Raham. So VaeVictus is just close to unlocking the true ending. He's equipping his souls, the souls he needs to... He's equipping the souls he needs to unlock the true ending. Just checking. so they're currently not doing that much damage. But well, at least he's way ahead right now. Chewy finding a Satan ring. That's a boost to all the stats. Maybe he's doing arena, as Lonix said, just to find a good weapon for the Graham and the Chaos fight. And VaeVictus is doing the Archdemon strat to recover his MP. The Archdemon recovers MP when you get hit. And the Graham fight is done. Julius will be mad at me? Well, probably. So VaeVictus now needs to find the Guardians, because if I recall correctly, he hasn't found the entrance to Guardians, while Chewy did, and there he just found it. He just found it. So all VaeVictus has to do now is fight Julius and fight Chaos. No easy fights. And well, his best weapon right now is just a Jojo, so maybe he will find a better weapon inside Chaotic? Who's rooting for a final sword at Chaotic Realm? A Poison Fist versus Julius. That's an interesting strat. Meanwhile, Chewy clearing the rest of the reservoir. Well, the advantage that VaeVictus has right now is that he can use the curly as much as he wants. Well, he has to be careful though. Julius hits like a truck. If he gets serious and you don't get serious in the fight, he will send you back to the safe room. Maybe because all of the movement that Julius does. I mean, he just dodges everything. Julius dash is just it's a broken move. There's the Archdemon strat. Chewy finding Succubus, so Chewy is now in go mode. He was just checking that he has all the souls he needs. And he's going for the teleporter. Oh, VaeVictus, be careful. Julius is now in second phase and he's now using his sub-weapons. So this man is no joke. Just a wrong move and he will end your life bar quickly. So VaeVictus is done with the Julius fight, entering Chaotic Realm. This is the final area of the game. All he has to do now is, first of all, not die, second of all, not die, and third, defeat Chaos. Yeah, it's just an easy rule they have for the Chaos fight. Because Chaos can, I mean, it is worthy of the name Chaos. It's unpredictable, you don't know where the the dragon, the bone dragon will spawn, and we've seen racers getting killed by the dragon. Oh, Chewy find a dying sled. So, like I was saying, and a Gungnir. Nice finding though. That's a nice weapon for the upcoming fights. VaeVictus continues traversing the, just getting across this chaotic realm. He gets a Bael, which is a nice boost to the Corley damage. And Chewy is just starting the Graham fight. So, the Chaos fight, it can be it can be deceiving in all the sense of the word. There's this on the second phase there is a snake dragon that will just come out of nowhere and hit you. Okay, so VaeVictus just got a final sword, so this match is just done. Chaos will be shred by the final sword no matter what it does. He would have to just die somehow to Chaos for Chewy to have any chance of getting back into the race. Final sword just does an insane amount of damage and it hits multiple times, so it's just so good for this fight. And with the massive hitbox it has, it will hit several targets at once, although VaeVictus still needs to be careful. Get hit enough times and you're back to the beginning of the fight. So that visit to the shop pays off with all these healing items he got. And the Succubus Soul helps too. Chewy finishing his fight with Graham. He gets there's a final sword behind Graham. That's where it was. Oh, careful, VaeVictus. You don't want those green orbs to hit you or get too close to you. They will knock you back and you will have no wireframes. So anything else will hit you, and well, everything in this fight hits hard. Everything. And that's it. VaeVictus just finished the Chaos fight. GG to both runners. And Chewy realizes, okay, so the race is done and he's going to forfeit surely. Yep, he did. Let's wait a second for VaeVictus to join the comms if he wants to do an interview. Hello, VaeVictus.
Oh, hello, guys.
Hello, Chewy.
Hey,
GG's to both.
GG, man.
It was a great race, so that you just held on that final sword to the very end.
Yeah. Thank you for the strat yesterday, Halgo. No, I think it was Lunex that face tank used face tank the Succubus with final sword. I took that. Also, man, did you fight both books, Chewy?
Yeah.
Yeah, when I got Galamoth, I knew it. That would probably book 3 would be there, also book 2 or Waterfall, so I did go for both.
Yeah, I got in Waterfall super early, and I had all the books, I just could not find Succubus. I almost full cleared the entire castle looking for it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you were both pretty much go mode.
Yeah. Well, Succubus was on Eastern.
Yeah.
And so give us what was at the top of Eastern, sort of saying, and the fish head. I couldn't see if you guys farmed for it, or you found it on one of the souls canisters.
Currently it was in Castle Corridor.
It was
In
a
the
castle
hidden
corridor.
wall. In the wall on the near
The
garden
PPI?
area. Yeah, near PPI. That was.
Oh yeah, so it was an early finding.
Yeah, it was a hidden finding.
So any thoughts on the race?
Man,
Chewy
that
and
was
Vae?
nerve-wracking for me.
Well,
So
yeah.
what are the standings now? VaeVictus.
Now
you
I'm
going
waiting. I'm on the semifinals on winners. I need to wait for Barracks versus Garni.
And I'll be headed to losers. I'm not sure who I'll be facing.
There will be a match before. It will be Vlado versus Drak.
Okay.
Oh man, the Dracula combat.
Yeah, seriously.
Vlad versus Drax. So Chewy, maybe Luigi will be happy to race against you. I mean, if he's at losers bracket right now.
Am I racing against Luigi? I think it's...
Well, probably.
No.
I mean, he has
No,
to...
not in this. No, you're not on the Luigi's bracket. Jupiter is on Luigi's bracket.
Oh, Jupiter is.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Yeah, first of things, I forgot to do, because I had Curly plus Lilith, I didn't go for the famous barrack strat that using positron rifle versus Julius.
Yeah. I had forgotten about that too. I was just about to go into Julius and I was planning on using Final Sword.
Alright, you had final sword for Julius. I mean, but VaeVictus, you didn't use that final sword for Julius. You were using the
Poison fist. Yes,
poison fist.
because I was using Curly strats, Rush Soul strats. With Rush Soul strats, Final Sword is a pain because you can't go down cancel with the Rush Soul, so I decided to use Poison Fist instead.
Yeah, we were all wondering, like, okay, so he's going Poison Fist versus Julius? I know it's a kind of a weird strat, but maybe, I don't know, like, I was like, okay, so VaeVictus maybe he's mad at Julius or something, and now he wants to just punch him in the face with a Poison Fist. It's some sort of him taking revenge on Julius for many lost runs to him, maybe?
Yeah, also that's why I... Every time I go for like a comfort thing for Julius when I'm using Rush Souls, because I need that fast canceling on the ground so I can 3-hit him. So don't worry about it, MacBob. There will be another race soon. Also, I'm on commentary for that one. I'll be joining the commentary for Dragon Blitz versus Mageus soon.
Oh yes, it's right after this one, after this race. It should be starting shortly.
Yeah,
So
I'm just waiting for it.
Yeah, so to all the viewers with us tonight, do not miss the next race on SpeedGaming 5, if I'm not mistaken. Yet it's at SpeedGaming 5. It's Dragon Blitz versus Magius. So this will be an interesting race. As you all know, Dragon Blitz is just is a world record holder for pretty much every Alucard category in Symphony of the Night. So it's kind of, for me personally, it's just kind of
Yeah, it's
weird
crazy.
to see him running area. It's kind of crazy. But
yeah,
it's
it's
nice.
crazy, but it's nice to have some like Dragon Blitz. Also, maybe one day he'll competing with Jupiter.
Maybe one day I will start racing too. When I get
Yeah,
good at the
You're-
game.
you're
I just
very
get lost
welcome.
every time. I don't know how you guys do it. I tried this game many times in Randomizer and I keep getting lost.
Yeah, also I'm calling. I know that Noise Slide 97 is here in the chat. I'm calling you too for joining us very soon.
Alright? So, we'll see you there at SpeedGaming 5.
Yeah. Okay, let's go there for the next race. I'll be joining on the commentary soon. So, thank you guys for watching this race. GG against Chewy. And thank you, Danozuke and Lunix for the commentary
Good tracking.
tracking.
Okay, see you all.
And see you guys.
GG's
See you
again.
guys soon.